attended a Scrum Master interview and you are asked, what steps would you take if the team velocity keeps declining sprint after sprint after sprint? What would you do as a Scrum Master? How I will answer this in the interviews to say that, yes, I've experienced this in the past when I was a Scrum Master. I was assigned to a team and I looked at their Jira board and I noticed their velocity have been declining sprint after sprint after sprint. So the first thing I did was to basically use retrospective and turn retrospective to a problem-solving workshop. In this problem-solving workshop, the goal is to get to the root cause of things. We've used the fishbone diagram, we've used the 5 why, and what I love so much about the 5 why is basically we get us to focus on why is this happening and ask why question until we are able to at least identify the root cause of this problem. But so far in my experience, some of the reason why team might experience velocity declining sprint after sprint, number one, that's something alarming to me as a Scrum Master. It's difficult to not notice if a team is actually having declining velocity, if we are actually going over metrics, right? Number one is to ensure that at every end of a sprint or even throughout the sprint is to also discuss the current state of work, right? By talking to the team and state, okay, this is where we stand, this is what we said we were going to do in the beginning of the sprint, and now we are midway through the sprint and this is where we stand. And also assess the knowledge of the team. What do they understand about the product or the future they are working on? What is the culture in the environment in the team? Do they even understand why they're even put together as a team? What is the team structure? Getting them to know that it's actually okay for us to fail, but it's very important for us to have conversation around it. So by me doing this root cause analysis, hopefully I'm going to come out of this session and know the root cause of the problem. Let's say they actually do not even understand how to estimate. And if that's the case, I'm going to conduct an estimation workshop training where it could be a free space where anyone can ask questions, do like a training of what is estimation, why do we estimate as a team, and also what do we do before we start estimating a story. So by me doing this with the team, hopefully their knowledge of estimation will increase. They also, at the same time, they will understand they are the one basically knowing what to estimate after understanding what's being brought in by the product owner, having a ready product backlog. All of this might affect like the team's velocity, and also ensuring that they also have the support they need as a team, right? Because sometimes team might know what they are doing, might understand the product, but if they feel like the environment is not conducive for them and the environment is not safe for them, they might not have that passion, right, to do the work. And if they don't even understand the end user in this case, what is the impact they're giving as they're building their product? Who is the user? How can they connect the end goal to the actual build process? That can also impact the way how they deliver this product. That's just an example how I'm going to answer this interview question. Hello everyone, welcome back to Aisha Tech. I am very happy to have you all join our platform. For our existing subscribers and our new subscribers, we welcome you all to the channel. And yes, our live interview question answer is back. I'm going to be going back again to do what we've been doing, is to bring real life interview questions. That some of these questions have come from my students that got jobs, or some of these can come from emails that I've been receiving, or some of them to myself that I do research of typical questions that are in the markets right now, just to make sure all of my subscribers are up to date and up to trend with all the latest questions being asked in Scrum Master interview. So thank you all for subscribing, and if you do not want to miss this series, right now is the time for you to subscribe to this channel so you do not miss any videos on these real life interviews. And if you are interested in mentorship, do not hesitate to email us at admin@aishascrumtech.com. I noticed looking back at my videos that we didn't even do a lot of interview questions around metrics, team progression, team knowing that they are improving, they are delivering, and the outcome. I don't think I'll focus a lot on that. I think now going forward, we have to do that because the team success and team delivery, that's our forte, that's our environment as a Scrum Master, and that's something we must know how to measure, track, and also communicate this to the stakeholders. So with that being said, ask this question in an interview around what metric is important to track the progress of the team. So, how I will answer this in an interview is to always start with when it comes to metrics and when it comes to what's important, what's not, it's very important for me to understand team environment, how it's set up, and also ensuring that they have all the foundational basic and the agile way of working. They collaborate, they are doing swarming, they're doing peer programming. All of that I'm looking like that for a Scrum team. So the metric I will look for a Scrum team will be heavily different from the metric that will be important for a Kanban team. Unlike if I'm supporting a Kanban team, I'm more focused on time to market, right? I want to reduce the SLA to ensure that the team are keeping the workflow going and ensure that we have no bottleneck and the team are able to release and fix those issues quicker and faster to be delivered to the end user. So when I'm looking at the Kanban team and what's important to me, the metric will be time. As a Scrum Master, I help support them to ensure that there is no blockers, there is nothing that will prevent them from doing the work. And the most important issue, like the expedite issues, are the ones that are always focused within the team so that we can be able to release those products quickly and easier to time to the market, right? So it varies, right? So it varies for me to say what's important and what's not. It's always going to go back to what am I looking at, right? And what problem are we trying to solve, right? What problem are we trying to solve that will help me determine what type of metric to look at, right? There's a lot of metrics out there. For example, I have a team that always will work on items that it's not important to the business. Like, so for such team, when I'm looking at metric, I'm looking at the readiness of the stories, the readiness of the backlog, ensuring that the OKRs and also whatever that's coming from the portfolio, the futures and epic, all of those aligns with our user story that's inside our product backlog. So that alignment to have a healthy backlog becomes an important metric for me because the team are not delivering the right and appropriate thing. Let's assume that's the case and I'm going to discuss with the team, do like a user story mapping workshop, do like a brainstorming workshop with maybe our product manager, our product owner and the team to ensure that whatever that's coming from portfolio, whatever that's coming from the future will be what inside our product backlog while having our product owner constantly ordering and reordering our product backlog so that when we pull story from the product backlog to the sprint backlog, those are the actual important story for the stakeholders and hopefully we are able to work and build to that story. That'll be one metric. Other metric can be, let's say now I have my team whereby they do not complete their story at the end of the sprint, whereby you have a flat line throughout the sprint and on the last day of the sprint, boom, I see all of them closing all of the tasks on the last day. That will be an issue with me. They understand the importance of closing tasks as it's being completed, right? So in that case, I'm looking at the burn down chart. So the burn down chart becomes important because the anti-pattern behavior of the team not closing story until the last day of the sprint, right? So if that's the case, I'm connecting with the team to ensure that they actually even understand the story we are pulling to the sprint backlog. And as they are giving estimate the story, they are not underestimating because sometimes team does it a lot where they will underestimate and call something and they will vote and call something a 3 when in reality it might even be an 8. And due to that, they will find themselves scrambling and working throughout the sprint. And at the end of that sprint, they are unable to complete it on time. They find themselves completing the last minute. So that's an estimation issue and also estimation understanding. Another issue can also be that the team basically might be blocked, right, throughout the sprint and they might not be communicating this and you'll be surprised, right? I've experienced that where teams sometimes will be going through challenges behind the scene or sometimes their engineering manager pulling them to do something throughout the sprint that's not have nothing to do with the actual goal of the sprint. And I have to further investigate to understand, what's taking these people so long to do that? And most of the time after my one-on-one discussion, they're like, my manager sent me to do this and I was supporting other people or helping other people. Okay, you help other people and now you have only 2 days. You couldn't close your own actual tasks. That will be another metric I'll look at. So based on the different challenges I'm faced with and based on the actual problem or any issue, that would determine what metrics I will look. I've used different type of metrics. I've used the burn down chart. I've used the velocity, I've used work age, the cumulative flow diagram, the control charts. I've used on throughput, cycle time, lead time, all of these different metrics I've used to help improve the progress of the team. So that's how I will answer this question. And if this have been valuable to you, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. This will mean so much to us. Our goal is to get to 10,000 subscribers before the end of August. And if we get to that goal, I'm going to stop filming. No, I'm just kidding. But please subscribe to this channel so we can continue this. And if you're interested in mentorship, do not hesitate to email us at admin@aishascrumtech.com. So the next question is, how would you track the progress of the teamwork in a fast-paced environment without compromising priority, right? I hope you get that. If not, you can rewind. Just kidding. But the question is, how would you track the progress of your team when they are working in a fast-paced environment without compromising priority? How would you answer this in an interview question? So if you're asked this in an interview question, it might be maybe the environment is such a fast pace, and sometimes this team might work on things that's not as important, right? The prioritized item, they might not work on that, right? So how I will answer this would be, throughout my experience, I've experienced whereby I've worked in an environment that's such a fast pace, but one thing that I know that have helped us is to ensure that our backlog is transparent. Like, things we have in our product backlog also aligns with the highest priority we are working on. Let's say, for example, we have issues coming from ServiceNow, right? And we have our ServiceNow, and which is a different tool that we use to track all our incidents. And we also have our Jira board. And our Jira board might sometimes not align, right? So we have to ensure that the highest issues that are coming from our ServiceNow, these are the tickets we are actually also creating on our Jira board, so we are able to track it and have the highest priority at the top of our backlog. So another unique thing I've done in such a fast-paced environment is to ensure that I create a swim lane, right? And this swim lane I create this swim lane based on priority, right? And based on priority, it will group all the expedite issue in one space and have the next highest priority in another swim lane, and have the least priority in the bottom of the swim lane. So by us creating this have helped us to ensure that we are also meeting the demand of the customer, collaboratively working together as a team, while ensuring that all time we are working on issues that are the highest priority in our backlog. And I try to also be of a good coach and also a good mentor to the team, because sometimes to help prevent burnout, I always do like a lot of engaging team building activities. As much as we want my team to deliver, always to constantly be in this machinery mode of delivery, at the same time, I like to create a space where they feel cared for, they feel loved, and they also see the impact they are building into the software delivery that they are doing. So I like to do a lot of fun activities, like for example, we're playing games like scavenger hunts, like get to know you games. Sometimes too we do meet face to face just to like throw like a little activities. Last time we did like a bowling activities just to get everyone stress out of the work, and also celebrate with little wins in the team. And also if they are faced with any challenges, we're able to call those out and discuss. So that's how I've worked in a fast-paced environment, and at the same time while being a Scrum Master that's been so supportive to our team. So the next question is, how do you ensure agile processes is followed within your team, right? This is like a really very, very important question, right? Because sometimes as we are coaching and leading team and guiding them and supporting them towards having the mindset of delivering work in agile way, sometimes it's very difficult for you to measure like, okay, is my team agile or is my team is not agile, right? So then the question is, how would you know that as a Scrum Master, right? Because it can be subjective in some ways, right? It can be subjective, right? But at the same time, there are these different things that I've used throughout my experience that have helped me to ensure that I'm able to see how agile my team is. One of them is to do like a simple survey, right? So I've done survey in the past just to ensure that I'm not being an agile police to the team, and just to ask them how comfortable are they in working in this space, right? That's one question to ask. So how likely are they to speak up if they make mistake, right? How likely are they able to respond to change? How likely are they able to assist and collaborate with their team members, right? How likely are they able to sit back and reflect what they are actually building on? How likely are they able to communicate with stakeholders? So these are the typical questions I ask in my survey, just to see if they have the fixed mindset or if they have the growth mindset. So by my asking all these different questions, it can get me to see how I can help understand which area I can help improve my team on. That's another way. Other thing too that I always use to focus on is the Scrum values, right? So I look at my team and see how open and honest are they with their estimation. You'll be surprised. I've seen a team that'll be like, oh, we are so agile, we are perfect in agile. And when you look at their metrics and their data and the way how they collaborate, you can see that they definitely are missing key important fact of being agile, right? So I look at how they go by their Scrum values, right? Are they open? Are they able to say yes when they fail? Are they open to try new things? Are they able to go through challenges without blaming it on everybody else but themselves? Are they able to openly be honest to stakeholders and say if they cannot actually deliver something? Are they able to are they open to learn? Are they open to experiment? Are they open to help one another as a team? Are they also participating in the activities as we do, like team building activities, Scrum retrospective, and all these other activities we have within the team? Are they able to be involved? Are they open and honest with the way how they work? So all these different things can help me tell if they do have the agile mindset or not. And these have helped me throughout my experience to able to help support teams and also support leadership and everyone without having to impose agile on them, right? And people that do not feel like agile work, I always like to not force them, right? I also have to just give them opportunity, do trainings, mentoring and coaching, and also by me modeling those behaviors, right? As I am modeling those behaviors and not just preaching it or telling, but also me as a coach, my action is also reflecting some of those agile behaviors. Most of the time, I impact the way how my team behave and I impact how my team act. So by me doing all of that, my goal is to now help influence them to be a good agilist. And if they're not, because everyone handle change differently, everyone adapt to agile differently, I'm patient with them and guide and support them. Hopefully, as we work collaboratively together, they will get to that agile space. So that's how I'm able to assess and see if my team are following the agile way of working or not. So the next interview question, but before this, if you have not yet subscribed to Aisha Tech, right now is the time for you to subscribe to Aisha Tech. And if you're interested in mentorship, do not hesitate to email us at admin@aishascrumtech.com. So let's get to the next question. So the next question is, give an example of you as a Scrum Master facilitating a productive agile ceremony. What did you do? And also, what are some things you've done to help prepare for that meeting? And how did you know that that was successful? So let's repeat this question. Give an example where, as a Scrum Master, you have facilitated a productive agile ceremony and what made you think that it was productive, right? So how I answer this question is basically to give an example, right? Because this is not where you start telling, right? So if you are asked to give an example in an interview, you have to give an example. It's not the time for you to start saying, oh, I will facilitate sprint planning, and if I facilitate sprint planning, this is what I will do. I will do this, I will do that, I will do that. No. And if you have never done this, right? Let's say you are new. I know some of you in my channel, you are very new and you are new to the space and you want to branch into the space. And if you are someone that you have never ever done it, then be honest with them. So like, oh, I've not done it, right? But if you want to do this, we actually have these trainings that we do where you can be exposed to all these agile ceremonies in Aisha Tech. We provide this with our students where we actually do not only sit down and talk about interview, question and answer, but we also do like Scrum role play, right? And that's something too you can go to your interview and talk like, oh, I'm part of the agile community of practice, Aisha Tech, and we come together as a student and we role play this, and we have our coach that will tell us if we are doing things in the right way or not. And I had the opportunity to facilitate this session. And when I did facilitate this session, the feedback I got from my coach was that this was effective, this was engaging, and also the students also gave feedback. And you can use that as an example, right? For people that do not have experience. This is what I mean by for people that do not have experience. But for us that have experience, so how you answer this in an interview is basically give an example where you actually facilitated a meeting that was productive. And this can be anything, right? This can be like daily scrum. This can be sprint planning. This also can be retrospective and sprint review. And remember, do not say backlog refinements, because backlog refinements is not part of the Scrum 5 Scrum events, right? Because this is actually specified to the Scrum event. So I will not choose backlog refinements at all for this one. I will choose one of the 5 Scrum ceremonies, right? Let's say now, the one let's say for example, I chose sprint review, right? But you can choose anyone that you facilitated that it was very successful at. So how I'm going to answer this in an interview question is to give the specific place, the company you've done that, what was your role, and what did you do. You might not know the exact date and time, right? But it's very, very crucial when you're giving example to list the name of the company where that actually took place and what was your role in that place, right? So this is how I'm going to answer this in an interview, right? So I'll say, oh yeah, thank you very much, right? So when I was working at Aisha Tech Company as a Scrum Master, I was once leading an agile team, right? And this team, they were actually practicing Scrum. So initially, when I came to this team, they were not doing sprint review at all. They were not doing sprint review because they felt like there was no value into doing sprint review. And the stakeholder just sent us, the business already sent us the requirements, and the PO have approved all the stories. Since the PO approved all the story, then our story is done, and we don't hear anything from production issues, so then we are good. So what I now did as a Scrum Master is to ensure that I sell the importance of showcasing our work, right, to the stakeholder, right? So at first, I had a lot of pushback. I won't lie. I'm going to be honest. I had a lot of pushback. I had a lot of challenges saying that, oh, that's another extra meeting. They don't want any other meeting and all of that. So then one thing I did was, okay, let's just try, right? Let's just try and call our immediate manager, maybe not our lead stakeholder, but at least our mini stakeholder, and just showcase this one feature that we just released, right? It's not going to be about any presentation or any documentation or all those extra paperwork you have to do or emailing. I'm going to be the one to take charge to set the meeting up. I'm going to send the invites. I'm going to list out what's going to be demoed, and I can lead the meeting by facilitating the meeting. All you have to do is just to showcase what you did. So after saying it like that to the team, they're like, all right, so I just have to showcase it. And then, yes, that's what you have to do. And to be honest, the team finally, one of the team members agreed, right? I didn't get all of them too, but I had one of my QA that actually agreed to do it. So then we scheduled a meeting, and we went in front of the stakeholder, and after doing a lot of legwork to get even the stakeholder to come attend our sprint review, then we now went to the meeting. I opened up with the meeting at the current state of the team. I congratulated the team with all the progress we've done. I thanked them from their hard work in the whole sprints that they've been doing. I showcased our past state of velocity and where we stand in our current state of velocity. And then I called on that one volunteered member to showcase the future that was just released. And we did that, and the stakeholder gave feedback, and the QA was so happy, like, oh, this is nice. It's like, oh, they're not telling us this. They give us feedback. This is how we have to do the work. And this is what they need. This is what they want. They agreed with some of the future and some things they didn't like. But then the team members were so happy. So I ended up finding that even our dev team were even asking questions. Everyone started asking everything. It became such an engaging conversational meeting that then they asked us that then the stakeholder asked, are you guys planning to do this again? Because I would love to see how you updated this feature. And I just kept quiet, right? I didn't say much, but the team members actually said, like, oh yeah, sure, we're gonna go fix that, adjust that, and we'll come back again and next time. So I was so happy because I was like, wow, I did not impose this to the team. I did not force them to do this. I just tried to get a lot of buy-in, a lot of legwork, a lot of begging and bribing with coffee. And I was able to finally get just one person to do it. And now the others suit and follow due to the good feedback and also some honest response we got from the stakeholder. And that's how we continue to do our sprint review. At the end of the day, that became such a huge success part of our team. And that's how we're able to deliver quicker and also at the same time making our stakeholder and our end users happy. That's how I'll answer this in an interview. If this has been valuable to you, follow Aisha Tech in all social media platforms, and also do not forget, if you're interested in mentorship or you want to be exposed to how to facilitate all these Scrum events and all these Scrum meetings, don't forget to email us at admin@aishascrumtech.com. Thank you all for watching this series. See you all again next week in our next interview question and answer video. Thank you for watching.